Good evening, everyone. I'm Patrick Richardson. I'm the superintendent of Pulaski County Schools, and I'd like to make a big Pulaski County Schools welcome to all of our inductees and their family members and friends to our second annual Pulaski County Hall of Fame. I want to make a special night of this and recognizing your all's accomplishments and contributions to our community. I'd like to recognize a few guests that we have with us tonight. First of all, I think Board Member Patty Edwards, thank you for being here. I don't think I have another board member, but we do have a former board member as of January 1, and that is Bill White. Bill, where are you at? Where's you right here? Oh, there you are. You blended in. All right. Thank you for being here, Bill. We appreciate you being here as well. Also, former Superintendent Steve Butcher, glad to have you here. And I'd also like to recognize my assistants, Assistant Superintendent Sonia Wiles and Matt Cook. I would like to also recognize our principals of our high schools, from Pulaski County High School, Rodney McInich, and from Southwestern High School, Danita Ellis. I'd also like to recognize Michael Gover and the folks from Cumberland Security Bank, and I will give Michael an opportunity to introduce all of them here shortly. But first, I'd like to take an opportunity just to thank some people that's made this event possible. And first and foremost is our partnership with Cumberland Security Bank, and who for a second year in a row has sponsored this event. I'd also like to thank members of my staff that have worked hard in organizing this event. First and foremost, my administrative assistant, Libby Earp. She has done an awesome job with this. Let's give her a big round of applause. And I'd just like to add to that Libby has worked through some very tough times. Her husband went through a big scare over the last month, and she has spent a lot of time with him, as well as being able to organize this and put this on. And thank the good Lord, he got good news, and we are so excited that he's on his way to recovery. So very, very pleased about that. But thank you, Libby. Also, big part of this, our Public Relations Director, Roxanna Bishop. Also, Shelley Todd with our printing department, Dave Pearson with our technology department. Also, a host of folks that have helped, Beth Patrick, Krista Pierce, Amy Poston, Angela Murphy, Lucita Cassida, Danny Grider, and I'm sure I've missed a whole lot of other folks from my staff that have helped put this on. But also our District Hall of Fame Committee, thank them for their part in doing this. So at this time, I'm going to ask Michael to come up from Cumberland Security Bank and say a few words for us.
He told me I had about an hour, and I promise it's not going to take near that long. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Gover. I'm a lender at Cumberland Security Bank. We got some of our staff here that I'll go ahead and introduce first, and if you'll stand up or wave or something when I announce you. Got Ben Wilburn. He's a lender, commercial lender at our main office. Mark Ross, he's our executive vice president and my boss. I tell him what a great job I'm doing every time you see him. He's in our main office. We've got Amy Patterson. She is over all of our front line at each of our branches. Charlie Dishman, he's a lender at our main office as well. And Josh Barrett, who's another lender at our main office. I'm located at our Pruitt branch, which is over on 27 next to Hardee's. I'd like to thank Mr. Richardson, his staff, and all of the board members for allowing us to do this, because we really do appreciate the opportunity to be here. Cumberland Security Bank, we're a locally owned bank right here in Pulaski County. Our ownership is right here. We're owned by Tony and Doug Wilburn. They are lifelong residents of Pulaski County. And we take pride as a community bank in doing business with people like you. You guys keep us in business, and we really do appreciate that. So when these events come up and they give us the opportunity, we love every minute of it. So we do appreciate that opportunity. And on behalf of the bank, I do want to say congratulations to all the individuals, the teams that are being inducted tonight, not only for what you have done athletically, but for what you have brought to our community and you mean to our community. So again, on behalf of the bank, we thank you for allowing us to be just a small part of that event. Thank you, guys.
this time, I'm going to ask a blessing on the food, and then we'll make our way to the food lines and have our meal before we start our presentations. So if you would, bow with me. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you tonight, and we just thank you for all the blessings that you bestowed upon us, Lord. We thank you for all these inductees and for all their family and friends that are here tonight to celebrate with them, Lord. We just appreciate what they mean to our community, Lord, and to our schools. We now ask that you bless this food that we're about to receive. Bless it to nourish our body and our body to thy service. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I hope everyone enjoyed the meal tonight. The meal was catered by Karen's Catering. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm honored to stand before you this evening to induct this well-deserving group of teams and individuals into our Hall of Fame. Just want to let you know a little bit about what's going on tonight and how we're going to work this. So in just a few minutes, we'll go through our trophy presentations and take some photos. After you get finished up front here, then we'll send you back to the big banner back there and let Roxanna take your photos. So, but once we get finished here, we'll move down to the gymnasium, and Southwestern Pulaski County High School basketball game's taking place. So hopefully we'll get down there as the game is starting or right after the game starts. And then at halftime, immediately at halftime, I will do your introductions. So we'll start with the team introductions once we get down there, and then we'll move to the individuals and just stay out on the floor as everyone is called out. So if anyone has any questions, there'll have to be time before we get down there. Let's all go down as a group. We'll all go in together. That way you don't have to worry about paying a cover charge or anything like that. So we'll all go down together as a group and go into the gym. I don't know that there's enough seating for all your guests to sit with you in the stands, but I know we do have an area reserved for the inductees to sit until the time for the presentation. So if not, let's get started with our presentations tonight. We are going to start with our team awards first, and the first team of inductees tonight is the 1977 Boys Cross Country State Championship team from Pulaski County High School, and this was the second boys cross country team in the school history to win a cross country state title. And those in attendance this evening are Steve Cornelius. Steve, would you come up? Mitch Diamond. Kenny Morgan. Jerry Mounts. Dale Prather. And Coach Gordon Mokow. Two folks that were unable to be here tonight with us was John Hieronymus and the manager, Larry Blevins. Coach Bo, you want to come up and bless this group?
There's a few things I could tell you, being the nice guy that I am, I won't. There is one thing we need to find out. Grasshopper, hold your hand up. Can you give them the formula that grows hair? Because these boys need some serious help. Cross country is a lot different than many of the team sports. You can take a good basketball team or a good football team or a good baseball team. And one or two people can carry the team. And it didn't matter how far Steve Cornelius was out the front of everybody. If that fifth man wasn't close, the team didn't do nothing. You have to have a team to do well in cross country. And these boys did it, not because they were the best runners in the state, because they worked harder than the rest of them. And that's why they were successful. And that's why they've been successful in life. They worked hard. Thank you all for recognizing me.
And then after you get one here, you gotta go in the back and get one with Roxanne.
Got it?
Back to the back, that's right. Our next team to be inducted tonight is the 1987 Girls Cross Country State Championship team from Pulaski County High School. This team was the second girls cross country team in school history to win a cross country state title. The ladies in attendance tonight are Stephanie Cordell, Angie Cox, Carrie Peckenhall, Amy Smith, I don't think Christy Stevens was able to make it tonight, but I think she has a flight delay, so I think Tony's here. We'll get you the award for her. Christy Tackett, also, Felicia Upton was unable to be here tonight, and I think her mother is here, and we welcome her and to come up and receive this award for her. And then Coach Gail Eichenhorst. Coach Gail, you want to come up and say a few words about these things?
I'd like to thank the superintendent and everyone that was able to honor for the Hall of Fame. This is the second year that we've been up here, and Mr. Bocock and I, this is the second team. So, and you're going to hear about a lot of track and other cross-country teams that we're going to honor here tonight. So we have a really good tradition, but I'd like to definitely thank Coach Bocock and Mark Wilson. Would you stand? Where's Mark? There you are. He was my assistant, and he definitely was part of our program in more than any ways that I could ever tell you. So as far as this team, they're just a remarkable group of young ladies. And for the second year in a row, I do think my girls still look a lot better, Gordon, than your guys do. Yes. We had a lot of fun with both our boys and our girls team. The girls team was just, we started two little girls that were in 4th grade. I told Amy that I was going to talk about her. And I wish Christy was here to hear this, but we had these two little girls that were only about this high, and that is the honest truth. And the older girls that were on the team because they didn't want to run for Coach Hurt in basketball, and the other ones, they were my cheerleaders. So that was the nucleus of our team, was a group of athletes that we had that could run cross country, and don't forget about cheerleaders. Can't forget about cheerleaders either. So I had a mix of a lot of really good, dedicated athletes to start with. But I had these two little girls that we would put right in the mix of us because we didn't want them to get hurt and we didn't want them to get bunched in. and they continue to improve and gain strength and maturity. And you'll read the accolades of Christy Stevens in the brochure there. But Amy and Christy then continue to move forward, and we ran as a group and teamwork. It's just like Coach Bocock said, you can have super athletes that are individuals, but if they're not willing to work as a team, you can't win a state championship. And I think that's in any sports. So they continue to improve, and by their senior year, we had Christy Stevens was second, and then Christy Tackett came in 11th, and we had a 6th place as well. So what I'm saying is that we grouped our kids together, and it was really a good team effort, and that's what won a state championship for us. And I really admire these girls. They've worked really hard, and they've been very successful in one of their endeavors that they choose. Thank you, girls.
Come on.
Thank you, ladies. It's sort of hard for me to stand up here and talk about all these runners, because as you can tell from my body shape, I was not a runner. I was a football player. I threw a shot put for Bocock, and he tried every way in the world to make me run. I think he even tried to run over us with a car a time or two. But I usually tell people that I usually don't run unless the bear's at me. That's only if I can beat the guy behind me. So, all right, our next team of inductees is the 1992 girls 4x800 meter relay team for Pulaski County High School. The 1992 girls 4x800 meter relay team won the state championship with a time of 9 minutes, 59.35 seconds. Those in attendance tonight: Carrie Anderson. Oh, I'm sorry. Carrie Alexander. I'm sorry. Angela Reynolds. Julie Roberts. Amy Smith. Amy's going to be busy tonight. Byron Childers, assistant coach. And Mark Wilson, head coach. Mark, come on up this way. It's time, folks.
Thank you very much. It's called the 4x800 meter relay, the 3200 meter relay, or the 2 mile relay. Either way it is, each girl has to go a half a mile. I was talking to Julie earlier, and I said, do you remember what leg of that race that you ran? And she said, I ran the last one. And she said, I always remember Miss Patty Jones yelled, hurry, she's getting ready to catch you. The neatest thing, though, is this was the very first time that this event had been ran in a state meet. So you're watching or actually seeing the very first team to receive that honor. And of course, the next team that comes up will be the second team. One of the things I want to say, not only am I proud of them for the athletes that they were, but I'm proud of them for the academics. Every one of the girls that you're going to see tonight were on the A list, whatever you want to say. They received academics as well as their athletic honors. And that to me is a sign of a true student athlete. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you all. Our last team of inductees that we will recognize tonight is the 1993 girls 4x800 meter relay team from Pulaski County High School. The 1993 girls 4x800 meter relay team won the state championship with a time of 10 minutes, 0.81 seconds. Those in attendance tonight: Mandy Jones, Amy Smith, Assistant Coach Byron Childers, and Head Coach Mark Wilson. Two members of the relay team were unable to be here tonight: Gretchen Sandifer Sidham and Natalie Scruggs.
So everything that I said earlier applies to this group. The neatest thing about the previous group and this group here, they had just previously won the cross-country state championship that fall. And it will be, let's see, 26 years for this group and 27 for the last group. That's a long time ago, ladies. I can't believe it. But again, one of the things I want you to understand with our group, they were so respectful. One time in a restaurant, I had a manager come up to me and say, "Who is the coach of this team?" And I said, "I am." I thought something was wrong. He shook my hand and said, "This is the best active team we've ever had in our restaurant." And I think that applies to what they did in the classroom, what they did on the track, on the cross-country course. They were an absolute wonderful, joyful group to be around. And I'm just appreciative to be a part of it. Thank you.
Okay, now we will move to our individual inductees, and would like to start off with David Altmeyer. David Altmeyer was the first individual state cross-country champion at a time of 15 minutes 25 seconds his senior year. He is the only individual state champion male in Pulaski County High School history, and recognized by the University of Kentucky for his cross-country record. He was a freshman runner of the year in 1996, junior runner of the year in 1998, senior runner of the year in 1999, Class 3A runner of the year in 1999, was the overall state runner of the year in 1999. In track and field, he was a two-time state runner-up in the 3,200 meter run. He received Senior Athlete of the Year from the University of Kentucky, from the Kentucky Track and Cross Country Coaches Association, and awarded Eagle Scout in 1999. Post-high school, David graduated from Western Kentucky University in 2004 with a bachelor's degree in mathematics. He was a two-time All-Sun Belt runner in cross country. He was All-Sun Belt in the 1,000 meter run and was the Sun Belt champion in the 3,000 meter run and the 5,000 meter run in 2003. After graduation, he was a high school math teacher and coached track and cross country for Warren East High School in Bowling Green. Under his leadership, he led the team to the 2006 high school to the 2006 regional track and field title. In 2006, David moved his family to Tallahassee, Florida, where he currently is Florida's Commissioner of Insurance, appointed in April of 2016. He leads the Office of Insurance and Regulation and has oversight of one of the largest insurance markets in the world. In 2018, David was named chair of the National Association of Insurance Commissioners Financial Condition Committee. He also chairs the NAIC's Group of Capital Calculation Working Group and the Capital Adequacy Task Force. David Altmeyer.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here tonight to tell you all about what that group capital calculation working group does. Show and take a minute. But thank you so much for the honor. I really appreciate it. I had a chance to flip through the program this evening during dinner, and it's incredibly flattering to be on the same list as so many of the other inductees this evening. So congratulations to each of you. In fact, I was wondering if maybe there was a mistake made that let me sneak onto that list of such esteemed athletes. So congratulations to each of you. There's the expression, it takes a village. I'm actually the exception to that rule. It takes a small town or city for me, and certainly my career at Classen County was no different. So I'd be remiss if I didn't thank a few folks before I left here. I do want to thank Coach Byron Childers, who was appropriately inducted twice already this evening. And so, it might be a surprise to a lot of you, but when you're considering your extracurricular activities, the one that requires you to run 100% of the time is not usually at the top of the list. So Coach Childers typically had to do some recruiting, and I was no exception. I distinctly remember the afternoon that he called and invited me to join the cross-country team, which I thought was an extraordinarily ludicrous idea. But through his powers of persuasion and through the persuasion of one of my good friends, Ryan New, I joined the team, and Coach Childers became my coach at that point, and over the years became much more than that, a mentor and a close friend. So thank you very much for your influence on my career. I want to thank my family who is here at this table, my sister, who has always been my number one fan throughout the years, even post-career. She's here with her son, Sammy, and my brother-in-law, Brett, who was the one who looked through the program and said, "You couldn't be sophomore run of the year, too?" So thank you both for being here this evening. My mom and my dad were incredibly supportive throughout my entire career and had an excellent balance of both keeping me humble, but also helping me realize that I could do anything I set my mind to. So, thank you both. And then my grandparents, Cookie and Beanie, who are here tonight as well. And thank you all so much for your support throughout my career. The memories I have of being an athlete at Classen County are really some of my favorite memories of all time. And most of my favorite memories have nothing to do with the accomplishments I was able to obtain on the cross-country field or on the track. They are all related to the memories that I built with my friends and with my teammates, and they will be memories that I have forever. So thanks to the group here for the award, and congrats to everybody who's here this evening. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Lana Flynn. Lana Flynn was on the first girls basketball team at Burnside High School, playing all 4 years from 1972 to 1976. She was captain of the girls basketball team at Sue Bennett College and Berea College from 1977 to 1990. She began her coaching career in 1981. Did I say 1990? I meant 1980. She began her coaching career in 1981 at Southeast Missouri State, where she was a women's basketball, softball, volleyball coach, trainer, and senior women's administrator. It was softball for the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks that led her to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame class of 2016. From 1982 to 2014, reaching 4 NCAA Division II tournaments, 1996, 86, 1987, 1989, and 1991, including the 1991 Final Four. Her teams moved to the NCAA Division I in 1992. They won 5 Ohio Valley Conference regular season titles, 5 OVC tournament championships, and reached their first NCAA type Division I tournament in 1999. Lana coached 9 All-Americans, 37 first-team All-Ohio Valley Conference selections, 4 OVC Player of the Year honorees, 3 Conference Pitcher of the Year award winners, and 1 Conference Freshman of the Year. In 2010, Lana became the 42nd softball coach in NCAA history to reach 800 career wins. Academically, her teams were consistently recognized by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association with 15 consecutive years of 3.0 or better in team GPAs. For 6 consecutive years, her teams ranked in the top 10, and the 2002 team was recognized with the second highest GPA in the nation. Lana Flynn.
I sort of like that 1992 when I started. I always said that I spent 35 years coaching, and I always remind everybody I started when I was 10 years old, so no one got confused. But it truly is an honor to be recognized in this great group up here this evening, and also in the Pulaski Hall of Fame, because I always said, this is home. I always said that I worked in Missouri, but Kentucky was my home. And being my home, I'm a Burnside General. I've always been proud to be a Burnside General, because growing up and going to Burnside High School, it was like a family. Everybody knew your name, they knew where you lived, they knew where your friends were and who your friends shouldn't be, and what time you should be at home. But back then, our parent-teacher conferences, we probably have like maybe once a year here now. We had ours every Tuesday and Friday nights in the high school gymnasiums, because our parents knew all of our teachers. And at the high school gymnasium, if my brother Jerry would see my mom talking to Earl Hicks, he would always get very concerned. Want to know what they were talking about. But the foundation that was laid at Burnside High School by the educators and the coaches were just tremendous, because we had a truly caring group that got us to the next step of our young lives. But again, it's truly an honor to be here. I had a lot of caring coaches all the way through. I remember when we started our girls basketball team at Burnside. We didn't have to move across town to practice in another gym. We weren't demoted. We were embraced by everybody at Burnside. The boys coaches, Earl Hicks, Roger Holler, they were very proud of us. We practiced in our own gym. They weren't worried about if it would take resources away from them. They were very proud of us and embraced us. Again, all my coaches that I had in high school and then throughout my college career were very caring, and they valued an education. And they valued us to get an education and to move forward, and also to be leaders and not be afraid to stand up for what is right. I really didn't have a hard time with that, because I grew up with 3 brothers. I knew how to take up for myself. But I know parents entrusted their most valuable possession to us as collegiate coaches, and that was their daughters. And to lead them and guide them through that journey of playing college ball. We weren't pros. Our job was to have a great experience and to get them through school so they could go out and be leaders in their fields. Like I said, I don't have any pro players, but I've got a lot of doctors, teachers, business professionals, And guess what? They win every day. They win every day in their profession. But again, this is truly an honor because it's home. And I am definitely a Burnside General. Thank you all very much.
Our next inductee is Lois Hatfield. Ms. Hatfield began her teaching career in 1954, and I got that year right, at Union Ridge School in Jabez, Kentucky, where she taught grades 1 through 8. In those days, it was not necessary to have a degree to teach, so as long as you were pursuing to obtain one. Mrs. Hatfield transferred to Anderson School in 1958, where she attended as a child. The one-room school had no electricity, so in order to have electric lights, she held a pie supper and raised enough money to have lights installed and to have the school painted and buy curtains for the windows. Anderson School was consolidated into Nancy Elementary School in 1960. At Nancy, she taught various grades from 1 through 6, from 1960 until 1977. From teacher to principal, Mrs. Hatfield became the first woman principal for Pulaski County Schools in 1978. She remained principal at Nancy Elementary until 1982 to become co-principal at the newly constructed Southern Elementary School until 1988. She was promoted to elementary supervisor for the school district from 1988 to 1997. She ended her educational career upon her retirement in 1997. She since has served as an interim principal, serving on various community boards and commissions, and she has been part of the evaluation process and development for well over 100 first-year teachers as a teacher educator for Eastern Kentucky University. Mrs. Lois Hatfield.
Well, I couldn't come up here and speak without probably crying. What a difference, how much the Lord has blessed me with education, with the children's lives I've touched and the lives that have touched me. Each day I think about a lot of students, and I have a student here tonight that I still had in the one-room school. There was something about the one-room school that was special. We were a family, and we worked together. I built my fires. We had to get wood, but I enjoyed every minute of it. The one school I taught at, in first one-room school in Pulaski County, my father-in-law asked our youngest daughter what it looked like. She said, "Pa, it's just a building sitting up on a pile of rocks." You could crawl under the school, and we had a great place there to play ball, and of course everything, that's where I had the pie supper. It made enough to have electricity, and I painted inside and brought plastic curtains over the windows. It was home, wonderful school, wonderful children, and wonderful parents. And that's been true in every school I've worked with, one room, with as principal, as supervisor. We touch so many lives as a teacher or involved with education that we don't realize sometimes how much until you'd like to go back. But I could never say bless you enough and thank the Pulaski County and Wayne County for giving me the opportunity to work with students and to feel like that I'm touching lives as they touch my lives as much. So thank you all again for all the dedication, for the effort you put in for our children today. And I think today they need it more than ever, because when I first began teaching, children were about all on the same level. You had children that were different in ability, but as far as their home life and all, that has changed. But it's wonderful to work with children. You feel like that you can do something to help them and to because they sure made a difference in my life. And I'm thankful to the Board of Education for providing what we need to be a good teacher. And I'll leave this world remembering all the wonderful people I've worked with and how the Lord has blessed me.
Our next inductee is Dr. Patrick Jenkins. Dr. Jenkins is a well-known and well-respected physician in this community for over 27 years. During this time, he has volunteered working many of the high school sporting events along with free sports physicals to every student athlete. This would equate to approximately 200 free physicals per year that Dr. Jenkins has provided for the Pulaski County Schools as a team physician. Dr. Jenkins is a 12th Region Boys Basketball Hall of Fame member. He is a deacon, member, and Royal Ambassador teacher at Grace Baptist Church. He volunteered as a medical missionary to Brazil, Russia, and Guatemala, and is a member of the Gideons International. Dr. Patrick Jenkins.
To say that athletics has changed my life would be an understatement. I grew up the oldest of 4 kids to a high school basketball coach and a mother that was my kids, or my number one cheerleader and my dad's number one cheerleader. It was a wonderful life. We moved all over the state of Kentucky. We ended up in a place called Fordsville where I was fortunate enough to meet my wife. We always thought on Tuesdays and Fridays that everybody ate hot dogs and popcorn and RC colas because that's what we had. We were at ball games every night. Our vacation every year was a state tournament. Little did I know that in 1986 that a love affair was going to be born at that time when I watched Shannon Fairley put that ball in and beat Pleasure Ridge Park that year. We moved here in 1991. We knew 2 people. We knew Dr. Rodney Oakes, my partner, who's married to Christy Tackett, who got inducted tonight as well, and Dr. Barry Dixon. We trained together in Northern Kentucky. We came here as a trio to start practicing. First person I met was John Brown, who lived across the street from me. He was a high school football coach at Pulaski County High School. About 2 weeks later, I met Dave Fraley at a gathering and went up and introduced him and told him I knew who he was because of what he had accomplished. I asked Coach Fraley, I asked Coach Brown if they had a team doc, and they said no, and they hired me. And I've been working ever since. It's been a wonderful, wonderful situation for me to do the things I love. I love to practice medicine, and I love athletics. I love every part about it. I've got to see some wonderful athletes. I saw Dave Altmeyer win his state championship. I saw Josh Anderson play. I saw Jason Gullett. Many athletes along the way. My 4 favorite athletes that I saw play at Pulaski County High School are here tonight. Patrick, Andrea, Kirk, and Tyler. They all wore the maroon in one various way or another. It's been a wonderful, wonderful thing for me. I thank you all for letting me be a part of it. And I hope I can continue to serve your school. And I thank you for letting me treat your children. And it's been a wonderful thing. Thank you so much.
Our next inductee is Doug Murphy. Doug Murphy was the first individual Kentucky high school state champion in any sport from Pulaski County High School, leading a long list of outstanding middle distance runners. He competed on both the cross country and track and field teams, but truly excelled on the track. He set or was part of a relay team that set school records in 8 different events. The 400 meter, the 880 yards, the 1 mile, the 1600 meter, the 1600 meter relay, the 3200 meter relay, the distance medley relay, and held the school record of 1 minute 56.4 seconds in the 800 meters for 33 years. What makes this all the more incredible is that Doug and his teammates trained in the gym parking lot because Pulaski County did not have a track at that time. He won the 800 meter run state championship in 1980. Doug was a 2-time All-State athlete and was named as a USA TFCC All-American in his senior year. Doug chose to attend David Lipscomb University on a scholarship and competed for the Bisons for 1 year as part of both the cross-country and track and field teams. He competed strong in cross-country season and was consistently in the team's top 5 runners, running his best race in the Wendy's Classic 10K in a time of 32 minutes, 32 seconds. He qualified for and finished 6th in the nation in the NAIA Indoor National Meet and at 1,000 meters, and earned All-American honors for that as well. In the outdoor season, Doug won numerous races, including the Vanderbilt Invitational 800 meter run. After 1 year at Lipscomb, Doug decided to transfer to the University of Kentucky to compete at the NCAA Division I level. At Kentucky, he competed only on the track and field team, running personal best of 151.2 in the 800 meters and 4 minutes, 6.9 seconds in the mile. Doug graduated in 1984 with a Bachelor's of Science degree in political science. He went to work in insurance for Monumental Life. After 35 years of insurance in the insurance industry, Doug now serves as Vice President of National Sales for Baltimore Life Insurance Company and resides in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Doug is a member of numerous industry associations and is the current president of the National Insurance Marketing Executives. He continues to compete in the USATF Masters Division around the country. He has competed successfully in races all the way from a marathon to the 800 meter track races against others his age. His current personal best 5K time of 18 minutes 32 seconds qualifies him as a USATF Masters All-American, and he can still run a mile in 5 minutes 28 seconds at age 57. Doug Murphy.
Thank you. Get to wear a suit. First time I ever wore a suit, I think, in Pulaski County High School. So this is a different feeling. But I want to thank the school board, school system for hosting this event and honoring all of us as well too. I'm a lot like David. I feel honored to be a part of this entire group and want to thank all of you as well for your attendance here tonight. I'd like to recognize, I brought, as David said as well too, it does take a village. And I've got a group of 17 here. And I'm going to save you the time of going through everybody. I've got aunts and sister-in-laws and other family members, extended family members here. So I'm going to save you that time. I do want to recognize my wife, Nancy, my oldest child, my daughter, Ashley, my oldest son, John Bradley, and my youngest son, Thomas, is here as well, too. And I have a 4-year-old granddaughter, Aurora, that she'll wave at me probably. Yeah, there she is. So, hi, Aurora. Thanks. A lot of people are a big part of my success, and many of them are here tonight. I want to you know, they may not even recognize that, but I want to point out who those are. I have friends, teammates. You recognize the 77 team. That was my first year running any type of varsity. But 3 individuals off that team became really close friends of mine and stuck with me through high school. We also went to 1-year college together. That was Steve Cornelius, who's in the back, Jerry Mounts, and John Edwards, who I thought was going to be here, but John Edwards is also a part of that. I want to thank them for their friendship, their leadership throughout my entire years of high school. I want to thank my mom. for her support. You would never, I'm going to get emotional at this point, but you can never go to a meet. I never went to a meet that I could think of that she wasn't there. I don't care if it was raining. I don't care where it was at, she was there. She would also host a lot of spaghetti dinners we would have the nights before meets, which was important to all of us as well too, and a fun time to get together. I want to thank my dad, who taught me the value of hard work and never settle, be half-hearted, take anything and do it half-heartedly. He provided a great example of that. And just as he has for many of you here, Coach Bocock, who gave me confidence. Something that you may think a lot of us here have, but I didn't have a lot of confidence. I go to a meeting and you look around at the sweats that people are wearing, that scared me to death. They got nice sweats on, that looked pretty good. They had to be fast to have nice sweats. So, it was one of those things where Bocock gave me confidence. And one of the, an example of that, I'm going to give a couple of quick stories tonight, so I don't just indulge me for that. But the morning of the state meet, we were in a hotel in Lexington, Kentucky, and I still had doubts of whether or not I could run with these guys that I knew were top of the line runners and run all really, really excellent runners. And I didn't know that I could even run with them. I felt out of place. But that morning I get up and I'm sitting on the bed and everybody's getting ready and I'm reading the paper. Back then you didn't have social media. You had to get all your news out of the newspaper. So I was reading the paper and in there they were outlining all the events that were going to take place, just kind of a highlight, a paragraph about each event. And the boys AA 800 meters were there and they had a quote from Coach Bocock. And it said that he felt like that I would win it, but if somebody beat me, they would have to run in the low 150s to do it. So I felt like that if he felt that way, then I could do it. So I went to that meet that day having a good feeling that I was going to win that race, which was not the way that I woke up that morning necessarily feeling. Some of the fondest memories I have here, again, as everybody said, is here in high school. Some of them I can tell you about, some of Steve and I was talking about earlier, really can't tell you about. So it's they'll have to go unnamed. But some of my fondest memories here, I'm going to tell you two. One was my first week as a varsity athlete at Pulaski County High School. And I want to tell this because the 77 cross country team is here. And we were running up Pump House Road, and this was back when it was gravel most of the way, and then it was blacktop a little bit of the way. But as soon as you turn off the gravel and the blacktop, we run probably 6-7 miles. And we were coming back, and being the early sophomore that I was, somebody said something about, we're going to go skinny dipping. Now, at the time, I didn't know that guys didn't just go skinny dipping together, so it's just a bunch of guys running. So they said, last one in, eats rotten eggs. So I don't know what it was, but all I remember was flipping my shoes off, pulling my shorts down, and hitting the water, and realizing I was the only one in the water. And as I resurfaced, I looked around, and there goes 10 or 12 runners down the road with everything but my shoes. So I spent the next 2.5 hours trying to get back to the school, and I was fortunate enough to find on Pump House Road a box that I was able to wrap around myself. That got a little bad when I got to school, and the band of probably 200 people were practicing until 8 o'clock. So I had to maneuver around that and come around from the top of the school down. So I was able to do that. That was my first real week of training that I had with the varsity. The second week, this is a little bit different take, and this is something that people don't realize how they touch your life, but it was a week between semi-state, which we ran back then. I don't know if you run it now or not. We used to run a regional semi-state and a state meet. But semi-state, you had to qualify to go to state meet. So I had obviously qualified in the 800 meters to go to state meet. And we only had a few people. Our 4x400 meter relay team, which Jerry Mouse was a part of, was there. But it really gave me an opportunity to go. We trained over at Meese Middle School. Meese Middle School let us practice there. Somerset High School let us practice there. And it was one afternoon. It was just Coach Bocock and I. It was a Tuesday before the state meet on Saturday. And we got there, and it was really the first time I ever got a chance to spend any time with Coach Bo by myself. And his workout that day was 3 600 meters in 1:30 with a 1:30 rest between each one. So I'm thinking, I'm running Saturday, Coach. This is ridiculous. So he and I would often argue back and forth about different things, but he always won. In his case, he won too. His take to me was take them one at a time. I'm confident you can do it. Take them one at a time and do it. And I was able to do that. Took the first one 1:30, and was able to finish that in about less than 10 minutes. And then after that, we sat and talked in the bleachers for some time. And that was really the first time we ever got a chance to sit and talk, and what an impression that left on me at that time. So I want to thank him again for not only the great memories. I mean, there's thousands of memories that we all have, but You know, those are the two that come to my mind. First week I was in school really, and the last week that I was there before the state meet. So again, congratulations to all the other winners. I really, with this is a humbling honor. I appreciate you guys doing this and my family for attending. So thank you very much.
Let's get you a picture. And you might say, why are we getting all these pictures of you all? Well, over at our new central office building, what used to be the old RECC building that we have remodeled, we have a Hall of Fame wall. And so all of your pictures will be up on display there. We also have a name plaque, a large name plaque that will stay throughout time at our central office location on that wall, as well as one at Southwestern High School and one at Pulaski County High School that has your name plaque on there and what your accomplishments were. So that's why we're trying to get all your photos that we can. All right, our next inductee is Aaron Payne. Aaron Payne won the state championship title in record times for the 1600 meter at 4 minutes 25.3 seconds and the 3200 meter for a time of 9 minutes 50.6 seconds. He was the last of the great distance runners led by Coach Bocock. He came on the scene in 1987 and quickly proved himself as one of the top runners on a very talented cross-country team. All three of his high school years at Pulaski County High School, he placed himself in the medal category by placing 12th in the 1987 KHSAA state meet and followed with a 10th in the 1988 and a second on his final year in 1989. His sophomore year, he was second team All-State, while his junior and senior years, he was selected as first team All-State runner. To top off his senior cross-country season, he was selected as the KTCCCA Runner of the Year and was a member of the Kentucky Super Team that represented Kentucky in national competitions. He was a vital part in helping lead the boys team to the 1987 state cross-country title. In track and field, Aaron proved himself as one of the best male athletes to come out of Pulaski County distance runners. His junior and senior years, he proved to be unstoppable in the 3,200 meter run as he went undefeated in the event during the regular season. In 1989, he became the first person in KHSAA history to win a medal in a sprint event and a distance event in the same year, as he was the fifth in the 400 meters and the state champion in the 3,200 meter run. His efforts in 1989 helped lead the Pulaski County boys track team to their highest team finish in overall sport, third place in Class 3A. He followed up his junior year with 2 gold medals in the KHSAA state track and field meet by winning both the 1,600 meter and the 3,200 meter run. On his graduation, he was the all-time leading scorer in track and field competition and held the school record in the 3,200 meter run. He was the second all-time in the 1,600 meter run, fourth all-time in the 800 meters, and second all-time in the 400 meters. He was also a member of the 2 relay teams that set school records. He was track and field all-state his final 2 years at Pulaski County High School. Aaron Payne.
Well, I didn't plan on talking, but one thing I can say is Gordon Bocock was always there for me. He very much like was a dad to me, and Mr. Wilson. Had some good times with all the runners I went with, Amy Jones, Amy Smith, like little sisters to me. But I want to thank everybody at school for inviting me here to the Hall of Fame, my wife, my daughter, and my son's in the Army. My work ethic was hard, and I still today work. I got a truck for a living, but I work hard. And thanks to Mr. Bocock, he's always on my mind. I love him just like he was my dad. I thank everybody. That's it.
Our next inductee is Natalie Scruggs. Natalie was unable to be here tonight, but I want to read her bio as well. Natalie Scruggs was a 6-time All-State runner in cross country and the individual state runner-up 3 times while at Pulaski County High School. She also placed in the top 10 in 3 other performances. She was the KTCCCA Junior of the Year and state champion in the 1600 and 3200 meters. As a member of record-setting 4x800 meter relay team, she was selected All-State in track and field 4 times. She attended the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and there continued her running career for more than 2 years. She was Conference Freshman of the Year in cross country, and through her sophomore year at UTC, Natalie was among the top 5 on her cross country team before injuries halted her running career. Natalie is a nurse practitioner in Chattanooga for the Ronald McDonald Care Mobile. She also works for a local hospice agency. She is back to running and has entered some local road races, winning her last. Like I said, she was unable to be here tonight. I think Coach Bocock is going to come accept the award on her behalf. Coach Bill, you want to say anything on that with that?
Just speaking a little bit on Natalie. Well, she has her own cross-country team now. She has 6 boys. That's probably part of the reason she couldn't be here. Natalie had a handicap when she was in high school. You notice several state runner-up finishes she had. She was behind one of the all-time great cross-country runners in history. We're on the same team in Rachel Sanford. And a lot of success that Mr. Wilson, Mr. Childers had with these girls was led by Rachel Sanford and Natalie Scruggs, 2 of the greatest cross-country runners in Kentucky history.
Our next inductee, she was unable to be here as well, is Christy Stevens. Tony is here, and we'll ask him to come up and accept the award on her behalf. Christy Stevens is another in a long line of Pulaski County distance running standouts. She came on the scene in the fall of 1985 as a young 8th grader and simply ran off with 4 straight individual cross-country titles. She ran the KHSAA state cross-country meet and had the following finishes. In 1985, as an 8th grader, she placed 7th in Class 3A. 1986, as a 9th grader, placed 3rd in Class 3A. 1987, a 10th grader, placed 2nd place in Class 3A. In 1988, as an 11th grader, placed 2nd in Class 3A. And in 1989, a 12th grader, she was unable to compete because she was out because of mononucleosis. She was selected first team All-State in cross country her first 4 years and second team All-State her senior year. In track, she continued as a 3-time regional champion in both the 1600 meter and the 3200 meter runs. At the KHSAA state meet, she was a 5-time medal winner with 2 gold medals in the 3200 meter that led her being selected to the KTCCCA All-State team on both occasions. She was a vital part of the one and only KHSAA Girls State Track and Field Team title in 1989. At the time of her graduation, she held Pulaski County High School records in 6 events. Because of her long battle with mononucleosis, she had to forego her running career. She has worked for Somerset Independent Schools as an instructional assistant in special education for the past 14 years. Christy can't be with us tonight because she is in Chicago training for a new career with surgical solutions at Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital. And we wish Christy all the best of luck in her new position. Tony, if you will, come up and accept this award on her behalf. saying that? Thanks. Our final inductee of the night is Jimmy Wilden. Jimmy Wilden coached 5 consecutive state champion rifle teams from 1996 to 2000. He coached 10 rifle team members who went on to compete at the NCAA Division I Rifle. In addition, he coached the Texas Community Shooting Club. The club won hundreds of team, individual awards, not only locally, but also at the state, national, and international levels of competition. Mr. Wilden was the agriculture teacher at Pulaski County Schools for over 30 years before retiring. He has been an outstanding teacher and incredible godly influence on countless lives. He also taught me, as a freshman, how to tie a necktie, and I have worn one for almost 25 years now. Jimmy Wilden.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say thanks to the Pulaski County Schools for starting this Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank Homeland Security for sponsoring it. And I think it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to old athletes and their coaches in Pulaski County. I would like to thank my wife for being here with us tonight. My 2 sons and their wives and grandchildren here, and I appreciate them all being here. It's those 2 sons that helped me get started into the coaching business, along with my mentor, Mr. Bill White, and my high school agriculture teacher. He was a great inspiration in helping me get started. Now, we said up here that I started these children as a club, and when they got to high school, we started getting them ready for big-time shooting. Shooting was a great sport. Not many colleges had archery at that point in time, but a lot of colleges had rifle. And it was Olympic-style rifles. If you could make it to college, you might make the Olympic trials. And so we decided there was scholarship money there, and we wanted to go for it. And that's just exactly what we did. We had a great range here at Pulaski County High School to practice on. And before that, it was the Outdoorsman Club that provided us grounds to work in. And it was a lot of fun. It required a lot of discipline. Shooting is a little different sport than the track and field things that we've talked about tonight. Most things require high gears, run fast, jump high, and keep going. In shooting, you got to slow down, get calm, mentally strong and stable, and regulate your breathing where you can feel your heartbeat every time it beats. And our shooters had to learn to do that if they were going to be successful. And those are the disciplines that we tried to instill in them, and it worked in a great way. We had a lot of shooters that came through our program. Many of them chose to go on to college. Many of them got out of high school and decided to go work, and that's all good too. Most all of our shooters have been very successful. We've had 16 shooters that went on to college on scholarships and did very well. We've had shooters that made All-American in college. We've had shooters that actually made the Olympic team, Olympic trials, got to shoot in other countries, and was very successful at that. So it's been a great honor to be a rifle coach in Pulaski County, provided by our school system. And when we first started, it was a minor sport or a club. And it has advanced in Kentucky to one of the strongest sports out there. Shooting, either rifle or archery, and archery has really took over now. And it's a very strong sport. And I strongly encourage young people to get involved in it. And I do appreciate what you've done here tonight.
Well, it has been an honor to be here tonight to be with you all and for you all to be inducted into our Hall of Fame. This is something we want to continue to do year after year, and we hope Cumberland Security Bank will be part of that with us. They're a great community partner with us, and they have really gotten us started off great in the last 2 years. So thank you so much again, Cumberland Security Bank. If you know folks that are that you feel are worthy to be in our Hall of Fame, please fill out a nomination form. Those can be those are online at Pulaski.net. Submit those. Everyone submitted is not inducted in. It goes in front of a committee, and the committee looks at them. It doesn't have to be sports. If they have been a productive member of our society and have contributed greatly to our community, contributed to our school system, those are the folks we want. They don't have to be athletes. They don't have to be coaches. We just want to recognize people that have great influences in our community and our schools. So please nominate folks. Be looking around for folks that you think would be good, because we want to continue to grow this year after year. I know a lot of you probably want to get your picture made. If you've not, my family members back at the banner there. What we will do here in about 5 minutes, like I said, it'd be best if we all go down as a group. I know many of you, I've heard many of you comment to me, I've not been here since they changed this school all around. Let me put your bearings on some things here for you. Where you're currently sitting in the lunchroom was the front office. And this was the main hallway going this way, and right here was the front office. As you go back this way, that would be in the history hallway. And then if you look into the courtyard, and as we will walk that way and go past the front office to get to the gym, that was what used to be the smoking area. So, and we're all, watch everybody, yeah, everybody knows where the smoking area was. And we as athletes were told not to go there, right? But you will see things that you recognize as we walk you all down there. We hope you have enjoyed the evening. I certainly have, and I appreciate you all being here. We should get down there right as the game is starting, so at halftime, just make your way to the corner, and I will make my way to the announcer's podium, and we will introduce you all and have you come out on the floor with us. So thank you again. Everyone have a great evening. Appreciate you all being here.